bet it's a bullet gonna get the last laugh.
This whole back and forth between what characters are powerful and what characters are not powerful is what I was waiting for. Tekken 8 has been out for like a month now, and everyone kind of just been experiencing the game, having a little bit of fun. Everyone was kind of holding judgment, but now players are more confidently saying not only which characters are strong, but which characters should be nerfed. Some obvious ones that you may have heard about already: Dragunov, Jun Kazama, Azazina, Victor, King Xiaoyu is what we're going to be talking about today. This all starts, right, the whole Xiaoyu topic. It goes back to like the second week of Tekken 8. 2:14, there was a first attempt between Ni and Arslan. And throughout the whole entire event, Spaghetti Rip was just telling both of them, Ni and Arslan, about Xiaoyu, because that character at the time was kind of flying under the radar. And he was saying, hey, you guys should be focusing on this character. The tweet says, I was telling Arslan and Ni all weekend how messed up Ling Xiaoyu is. They didn't have much experience versus the character. Once they played against this person here, they both put her in the top 5 and agreed that she need to be gutted. In another tweet/video, Spaghetti Whip was asking them, what's their early top 5 for Tekken 8? And once again, both of them said Xiaoyu. I don't know what that person did in the matchup to convince them so suddenly, but whatever it was, it's leading us all the way to where we're at today. Arslan, the first tweet he made, he says, I'm a Ling Xiaoyu main now. Let's nerf her. Now this tweet kind of goes into another topic of how whichever characters the Pakistani players play, the developers always come around and try to nerf them. You could talk about Kazumi, you could talk about, I don't want to say Kunimitsu because she never really got nerfed. Zafina was always a target. Basically, Arslan feels whenever him or one of his teammates play a character and do well with that character, Akuma or whatnot, a spotlight is put on that character and everyone is say, down with that character, nerf them. So he's basically just memeing off of that and saying, hey, I'm a Ling main, everyone do your thing, let's get her nerfed. Now this was just a meme, right? This was no real evidence. I'm not going to say evidence, but it was just Arslan kind of just putting a meme out there. When we got some real evidence of Xiaoyu being broken, it's from Ni. He put out this 1 minute and like 20-second video on Twitter and says, I got a lot of claims yesterday after I talked about Xiaoyu's duck AOP. Almost all Xiaoyu players, but was I wrong to say it? The duck AOP avoids too much, and since the AOP has SSR attached, if you do the SS AOP, you can avoid the move of catching SS right. So normal AOP is enough. A lot of players may not understand what Ni is saying in this tweet. This is where the video comes in, and it comes in strong. In this video, you basically have Xiaoyu spamming her AOP move and no character can hit her. Not with a mid, not with a high, even mids that kind of like, I don't know, the hitbox is just always so weird on this move, but people are kind of putting a real emphasis on it and saying this is just unacceptable. Now I will say, just from my own experience, there was a few times where I tried to hit Xiaoyu in this stance, or she was transitioning to that stance and it completely whiffed and then I get destroyed. So I can say from my own experience, this has happened to me. But here's the thing about the Xiaoyu players. They don't like the criticism. The criticism, oh no. They went so hard on Ni. They started calling him a scrub. They told him to get good at the game, learn the matchup. See, this is why I kind of stopped talking about balancing, because I feel like when you're really trying to like say, hey, this character's powerful, hey, that character's powerful, the response you get is like, go lab the matchup, scrub. And I know I'm a scrub, but for Ni to get that same response is crazy. Telling Ni to go lab the matchup is insane. I mean, he's literally in the lab. This is a whole video of him with multiple different characters, right? Jin, he has like 6-7 characters in this video, and people are telling him to go to the lab. This is a video from him in the lab. This is just the absurdity of talking about character balance in Tekken. But it doesn't stop there. When Ni put out this video, as you can see, 288,000 views, 2,900 likes, it popped off. This inspired everyone to not only try this for themselves, but also the memes. The memes that was created from this was beautiful. You have this video that Ni retweeted. It says, this is Harang's version. Holy Ni, please delete AOP. Tekken 8 report. And another one, Tekken is still fun. And this is basically a video of Brian Fury trying to hit Xiaoyu and it's not working. Now, this is when the Xiaoyu players, right, they're seeing all of this criticism against their character and they're like, oh no, you're not going to get our character nerfed without us putting up a fight. So they basically started to put together a compilation of videos themselves. This person here says, remember guys, AOP being evasive is uniquely a Tekken 8 thing. That's why it's a problem. And they have the video of Brian Fury trying to hit, and then it goes from Tekken 7, and then it goes just back. You have Tag 2 in there. Basically, this person is just showing like this is not something that's uniquely to Tekken 8. And now, this does bring up another idea, right? I remember when the Hell Sweep got buffed. Remember why sidestep when you could just block? Remember when they changed the Hell Sweep move that existed the same way for 25 years? They changed that and everyone was upset.
You have to understand that to me this is like seeing a pig fly outside my window, because I've been playing Mishimas since 1995, since before you were born. And what has happened for the last 25 years when someone steps in that direction and I do a house sweep is that it whiffs.
This move has been in the game for just as long, and from this video, it operates just as the same. So if you don't want the Hell Sweep to be changed, I just ask a question. If the Hell Sweep shouldn't be changed because that's the way it existed for however long, same thing with the electric, well, do they tackle the AOP? I don't know. I'm just asking this question because this is something that the players like get upset about. But regardless, here's another video. This is the absurdity. Xiaoyu Tekken Tag Tournament 2. She's a giant. Jin is trying to hit her and he can't. Okay, now going back to Knee. Here's a person, Yiggs. This person created a rebuttal to Knee. They're trying to argue that Xiaoyu isn't the only one who could do this. Leo also has some evasion as well. In the video, they also show off Zafina doing some evasion. There's other characters who definitely can evade stuff as well. But then Knee responds to Yiggs and says, yo, I think this is a false comparison. You only using high mid moves. I don't complain about this. Show us like this. Takes the same scenario that Yiggs was trying to show and Knee does it himself and basically shows that it's not the same. He's spamming Leo's little dash forward attack and she's getting hit out of it. Haran could just boop, you're launching the air free combo. But it doesn't stop. The Xiaoyu mains was raining down fire and fury on Knee. Knee, after getting all this criticism, responds and says, when I was playing Fang in 2022, a lot of people told me Fang needs nerf Kempo. Actually nerfed it. But when I say it about AOP, Xiaoyu players say it's her identity. For a long time, no problem. Learn the matchup. Kempo from Fang has been around since Tekken 5 too. Do not do double standards. I think Xiaoyu needs to win a major tournament, so being in, watch it and nerf. Tekken 8 Xiaoyu is strong, so you guys can do it. I'll be looking forward to it. Before we read the tweets from Arslan, because he also doubles back onto the conversation as well, I just will say this. What's so different about Yoshimitsu and Xiaoyu in Tekken 8, in my opinion, is that these characters have always been gimmicky characters who have something tricky here or there, but now in Tekken 8, a lot of their other elements have been buffed as well, so not only do they have that garbage like powerful flash and AOP, but now they have like some solid stuff to go with it, so they can flow back and forth between partying and playing real solid Tekken, and I think that combination of the two is just like, it's what's breaking everyone's brain. These characters used to be just Unga Bunga, but now they don't have to do Unga Bunga. They can play some real Tekken and keep up with like the rest of the characters, in my opinion. Now for Arslan Ash, he says, why is everyone obsessing over Ling Xiaoyu? Have you guys seen how overpowered Dragunov, Fang, and Devil Jin are? When Arslan put this tweet out, everyone was like, wait a minute, aren't you the one who initiated this whole let's get Xiaoyu nerfed, debacle? And he says, I agree that Ling is strong and needs some nerfs. The point is that there are other characters even stronger than her, with Dragunov being the most broken. Surprisingly, why isn't anyone tweeting about him? Now, Nee brings up a good point. He says, because we already know about Zou's broken characters. And this is kind of true, right? Week 1 of Tekken 8, That's all people did was talk about Dragunov and Devil Jin. People haven't really been talking about Fang that much, but I think when we take a look at his usage data, so I went back and I collected all the usage data that we have so far, just so we can see how these characters are progressing, because I think it's interesting, right? So forget about Fang, let's just focus on Xiaoyu. Xiaoyu was this bottom 6 at week 1 of Tekken 8. Week 2 of Tekken 8, she dips down, she's bottom 5. What is this? Week 3, she goes back up to 6. Now, in the most current version of the statistic data we have, after all of this discussion about how powerful she is, how broken her stance is, her usage data on PC and PS5 has jumped up to the highest it's ever been. This is what I think is so interesting about Tekken, is like, a character can be irrelevant, like Fang Wei was at the start of like season 3. But when the character is put on a pedestal or highlighted, that do make people play that character and people gravitate towards her. We'll see where this goes, right? The developers definitely said that they're going to be doing some more updates and more buffs and nerfs before Evo Japan hits. That's why they delayed it so much, is because they wanted to make sure they can catch things like this and fix it. And I wonder, when they do decide to do a real buff or nerf, what will happen? Will they listen to the pros, the greats, Ni and Arslan, because both of them are in agreement, nerf Xiaoyu. But then will they also hit a character like Dragunov, Devil Jin, Fang, Jun Kazama, Azuzina? But then on the flip side, I also don't know if they'll buff characters like Leroy Smith, like Asuka, like Steve Fox. Regardless of all of that, I just think it's interesting to look back at what's going on, because we kind of seen elements of this happen in Tekken 7, where the pros say something, the developers react. The pros do something, the developers react. How will they react in this new landscape in Tekken 8? Only time will tell. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.